And my sense actually with the Aragalaya, the future of Sri Lanka, the success of Sri Lanka will come from
Glad to meet you.
Oh, welcome to Canada House. Good to see you again, Arun.
Hi Commissioner, glad to meet you after several months.
Good to see you, Arun.
Hi Commissioner, I'm right away asking question without wasting your time. Right now Sri Lanka is in a deep economic crisis. People say this is a bankrupt country. How do you feel working in a bankrupt country?
How do I feel working in a bankrupt country? That's quite a question. I guess I'd first say that you can't work here or you can't live here and not feel for those people who are being impacted by this crisis. And it's a dramatic crisis, and it's the biggest economic crisis certainly that Sri Lanka has faced in its modern era. And I know how much, from traveling around this country, from north to south, I know how much this is impacting people, particularly outside of Colombo. And so, having spent so many years here, it's as I say, it's hard not to feel this a little bit in my heart. But I also know that there's a role for the international community in supporting the government of Sri Lanka as it looks to undertake the necessary measures to respond to the crisis.
Hi Commissioner, right now UNHRC session is underway. What is Canada's official position this time?
Well, our position is quite consistent with what it's been before, and that we're looking for lasting peace, accountability, and reconciliation in Sri Lanka. It's part of our global commitment to human rights, which are universal, and everybody has a right to those things. But we think that the Human Rights Council provides a constructive forum for discussing these issues, for making sure that the international concerns are understood, and it's also an opportunity for the government of Sri Lanka to respond to those concerns in a respected international forum.
You are here for more than 4 years, I think.
More than 5.
Oh yeah, okay. Hi Commissioner, with the escalation of economic crisis in this country, people try to forget the emphasis on ethnic reconciliation, accountability, political solution. These things has been sidelined or neglected. But the root cause for the problem, including the economic crisis, is blamed on these things. The long-standing problem. Since you are from a multi-ethnic country, how much importance should be given addressing these issues?
Well, I would say actually that the economic crisis has underscored the importance of those other issues and coming to understand those. That I don't think it was so much the economic crisis that put aside the questions of reconciliation, but what the economic crisis has shown to Sri Lankans is that accountability is important, reaching across communities is important, and that's something that we've learned in Canada as well, that we've shifted in the last 50, 60, 70 years to a country where our diversity is very much celebrated, encouraged. It makes us a stronger country, and I think that for a country like Sri Lanka with an extraordinary history, a history that comes on many different levels with these different communities, very dynamic communities that have existed here side by side, mixed together over centuries, that the future of Sri Lanka, the success of Sri Lanka will come from finding a way to harness that synergy and that cohesion, not by driving people apart. And my sense actually with the Aragalaya is that Sri Lankans understand that so many of them do understand that actually they need to, the impunity and accountability that have been a concern on the reconciliation side actually apply on the economic side as well. So I think there's a good opportunity here for moving Sri Lanka forward.
Hi Commissioner, recently I have attended an international conference. The speaker said there's a donor fatigue in the world. There are over 40 countries are undergoing economic crisis. So when there's a donor fatigue in the world, how a nation like Canada is helping Sri Lanka?
I think you're right that there is a lot of donor fatigue. The world is a difficult place at the moment. The war in Ukraine is only the most prominent problem, but there are issues of conflict and food security in many parts of the world. And Sri Lanka, the crisis here is very serious, but it is one of many competing for attention. That said, Canada is a significant shareholder in organizations like the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank. And in all those places, we're supportive of a process to bring macroeconomic stabilization to Sri Lanka and reform that will allow the country to return to growth. We've also, in this year and during COVID as well, we did provide relief to try to address food insecurity and medicine shortages. And we will continue to look to find ways that we can be supportive.